Alright, well this morning I jumped on the scale and I saw a number in the tens place that I have not seen since I was in my 20s. And that was the number 5. This morning I was under 260 pounds for the first time since I can remember, 2 decades. Which means that I have lost, in the last 12 weeks, 53 pounds. Over 50 pounds in the last 12 weeks. When I initially set out, my waist size was 44, but I was wearing my shorts and my trousers well underneath my Dunlop, where the belly Dunlopped over my belt, my pants. And now I'm wearing a size 40 waist where it belongs. And so how did I do this? Alternate day fasting. So that's what I just want to kind of share with you guys, just a little bit of the results that I've had and how I've done it. I've done this without counting calories. I've done it without really spending any money except for some exercise equipment, which is not typical exercise equipment. I'll talk about that in a minute. I did it without changing my diet significantly or really struggling to eat a lot of salad or weird foods or anything like that. I did it while not feeling like I was being deprived of food. And so I just want to talk a little bit about the process here of what I've gone through. I started at almost 313 pounds 12 weeks ago. I started on March 1st. And I just started out following the every other day diet, the alternate day fasting regimen as introduced by the book by the same title, The Every Other Day Diet by Kristen Verratti, and also the alternate day fasting diet by Dr. Johnson. I read both of those books and they basically say pretty close to the same thing. But I started out just eating normally one day, and then on the fasting day trying to keep my calories under 500 calories. And since then, since that first month, after I got through all the tough parts of the fasting and was seeing such great results, I keep challenging myself. I keep pushing the boundaries of how long I can fast, and I've noticed that the foods that I crave and that I want to eat are actually the ones that are healthier, the ones that are better for my body. I cut out a lot of added sugar, which for me was mostly in my coffee. I had to cut that out because on the fasting days I did not want the extra calories. I didn't want to have to consider the sugar and the milk that I was putting in my coffee, in my calorie count for the day. So I cut that out, and in fact I've just been on a process here of cutting out refined carbohydrates, the whites, the flour, the pasta, the sugar, things that are added. But really, guys, I'm still eating the things that I like. I'm eating things that I want to eat. I'm not in any kind of hysteria about ice cream or trying to not, make it so I don't ever eat sugar or something like that. I haven't done any of that. But what I have done is I keep increasing the length of my fast. So when I started out, I was following, the modified alternate day fasting, eating that low-calorie meal on the fasting days. And then now I'm really doing, for the past couple weeks, I've been doing what they call true ADF, which is I eat 0 calories on my fasting days. And a lot of times on the following day, on the feast day, I won't eat till like noon or 2 o'clock, just depending on when I get hungry. So my typical fasts now are between 40 and 45 hours, just depending on when I get hungry and how I feel and, things like that. So, and then I still eat the foods I want, but I'm eating them in a smaller time window. And let me tell you, on my feast days, I am full. I am satisfied. I'm eating big meals. And so, I don't feel a sense of restriction that a lot of people that are doing like everyday dieting feel. And that's part of what's worked for me and what I like about this. So I keep challenging myself. I said I spent some money on some equipment, and what I spent money on was just basically a rucksack and some barbell weights that I throw in this backpack, and I walk with it. I did that because I'm just wanting to add some intensity to my walking, not really running, nothing above slow jogging really. and just get some strength training, some conditioning in my body to maintain my muscle. So I'm not trying to grow my muscles necessarily. I'm just trying to maintain what I have. And part of what's easy about the maintenance, and I'm going to throw some pictures up here to show you how I've kind of maintained my foundation that's underneath all the blubber. What's great about fasting is it increases human growth hormone, so that you're more likely to hold on to your lean mass while you're losing weight, which is something that's not true in other weight loss scenarios. So, the benefits have just been great for me in maintaining muscles and losing the fat. Basically, because I've lost, when I started out here, I wanted to lose 250 pounds or get below a 38 waist, get down to like a 38 or below, because that has to do with the height-weight ratio. I'm not so worried about things like BMI and stuff like that, even though I do sort of track it. But basically, being now 259, I mean, I am within 10 pounds of the goal that I set for myself 12 weeks ago at the outset. And you can look back at my first video and just see if you want to hear about those goals and the things I was trying to accomplish, you can look back at my very first video on the channel, and you can see how much, just how much different I look then. I mean, it's just amazing how quickly my body has responded to alternate day fasting. But I'm within 10 pounds of that 250 mark. So that's encouraging. I might hit that in the next month, the next 4 weeks, to get down to that 250 mark. And then I'll reassess my goals, because I plan on trying to lose, especially around my midsection, as much as I can. I'm never going to be where the government says I should be, which is 205, because I'm just too large framed for that in terms of BMI calculations. But I'm near that 250, and then I'll need to come up with a new goal. So it's really going great. I love the challenge this has presented. It hasn't been difficult. There's been some tough days, but this has not been super hard. And just to put this in perspective, a couple things I've learned here. Last week, at the start of this 12th week, I decided to do a deuce. I dropped a deuce on myself. And I decided to do 2 days in a row fasting, going for a 60-hour fast. And when I woke up on the morning of the third day, the feast day, when I was supposed to eat, a bunch of responsibilities flooded my life, and I didn't have time to eat in the morning. So I just extended the fast, and I went 70 hours. 72 hours is 3 days, y'all. I went 72 hours, or 70 hours, before I really needed to break the fast. Now, why did I really need to break the fast? Because I know now what real hunger feels like. That's something I didn't know before. I know now that real hunger is not your stomach growling. That's not what hunger actually is. Your stomach growling has to do with hormones in your body, and that signal to your brain and your stomach that you should eat. But that's not real hunger. Real hunger is when you are feeling fatigued, when you have a constant sort of burning gnaw in your stomach, like on both sides. I feel it, like this gnaw. You feel fatigue, you feel weakness, you have brain fog. These are signs for me of actual hunger. This is what I didn't know back before this 12 weeks started. So I can recognize hunger. And the other thing I've learned is that appetites don't have to jerk me around. And they don't anymore. My appetites are not jerking me around. And I mean all of them. Because as I have gotten more control, as I have done this fasting and gone through even the couple difficult periods that I've had, it's made me realize that I don't have to be a slave to food. I don't have to be a slave to my own stomach. And it's like food is still important, and I still love it and get joy and satisfaction from it, but it's not my master anymore. And that's different. I'm not eating mindlessly. I'm not just snacking. I don't have to eat all the time. So the secret to weight loss, here it is. I've discovered it. I personally have discovered it. You may have heard it before, but for me, I just recently discovered it. The key to weight loss is to stop eating. The key to weight loss is to quit stuffing your face. Eating 5 times a day, eating all day long, that never worked for me. I tried it. I tried eating low, 300 calorie meals 5 times a day, 6 times a day. It didn't work for me, because my problem was hormonal. My problem had to do with insulin resistance. And if you don't know what that is, I don't have time to go into it, but the causes of obesity and the causes of weight gain are hormonal. And I'm awake to that now. And fasting is helping me to correct that hormonal imbalance and problem in my body. You know, there's been so many benefits, and just it's opened my eyes to my relationship with food, the possibilities of the human body, and really understanding my own body and keeping it under subjection so that you know, it's not just, I'm not on an emotional roller coaster and my body is subject to all the damage I'm doing in that roller coaster. And, you know, the other thing I've noticed is intense mental focus, especially when fasting, which I need right now because I have I have a lot of science and math that I'm studying right now. So I love those fast days. You know, when I get to that 40th hour on my feasting day, when it's time to break the fast, I'm almost regretting it because I'm like, man, once I eat, I'm not going to be as sharp as I am right now and as in tune and focused as I am right now. So it's even improved my mental functioning. You know, I don't have the fatigue all the time that I had before I started. And I don't have brain, you know, my head's not in the clouds like I was before. And so, you know, I'm going to throw some pictures up here because what's a video without pictures? And the first picture is the before pictures. This is me before I started ADF. It was February of 2017 before I started. And then the next set of pictures is I took this morning. Tried to take similar photos here so you guys could compare them. And then the next picture, because it maybe doesn't look like, from the front, because I have love handles and you know, my belly fat connects around my center. That's where most of my, well, obviously, but most of my fat has always sort of settled around my midsection. It's the heart attack, stroke, cancer, diabetes fat. So yeah, that's a concern. But if you're looking at the front, you might think, oh, this guy hasn't lost that much. But let me throw up a profile picture from 8 weeks ago, or from the 8-week point. This is 4 weeks ago on the left. And then on the right, you see the 12-week mark, which was this morning. And you can see that I have significantly reduced the fat in that midsection, even in just the last 4 weeks. So, and then the last picture I'll throw up here is me and my rucksack. This is the thing I'm carrying. It's got 40 pounds in it currently. I need to actually up the intensity and throw some more weight in there because I'm getting used to the 40 pounds. But so I do all kinds of things. I walk with this. I can do push-ups and squats while I'm wearing it. I can do farmer's carries. I don't know if you know what those are, but you just basically hold the weight in one hand and walk with it, and then walk back. So it strengthens your core, strengthens your whole body. It's really a great workout and cheap, and it does not require a gym membership. In fact, I have not spent money. I didn't go to GNC and drop $200 on supplements and pills and shakes. I did not spend money on a gym membership. You know, I'm going outdoors, moving, and using my own body and my own body weight for most of my workouts. And this rucksack and some dumbbells that range from 20 pounds to 45 pounds. That's it. That's all I have. You know, and these are things that I've had for years. The thing is, I'm starting to see the definition. I'm starting to see the foundation underneath all that blubber that's been there for years. And so it's really exciting. And, you know, so basically I'm going, what do I have to say about ADF? The food that I eat tastes better. I appreciate it more. Sex is better. My sex drive is, you know, I guess just the added testosterone. You know, I was having trouble. It's hard when you're a whale. It's hard to feel too sexy, you know. And I've noticed that the time with my wife, you know, it's my sex drive is going up, and you know, my libido is going up, my muscle definition is going up, and so, you know, it feels more. This is going to sound so hokey or maybe macho. I don't mean it to sound that way, but I just feel more manly. And as my physique is starting to represent what I'm feeling on the inside, and so I appreciate that, you know. And you know, like I say, I've got that goal of 250 pounds or a 38-inch waist, and I'm on my way. I'm wearing my pants where they belong. I'm enjoying life. I've got tons of energy. I'm eating half the food I ate before. That's the other thing I've realized is how much we consume, how much food we eat versus how much we need is just staggering. It's staggering. The food industry doesn't want you guys to know about this. And maybe the medical profession might be suspicious about it, because if you're losing weight, your blood pressure's coming down, your cholesterol's coming down, you're not eating food the way you did before, especially that snacky stuff, people are losing money. You're gaining health, but the corporations and insurance companies and doctors and all that stuff are losing money. So I'm excited about this. This is something you can do for free, or that I did. And, 53 pounds in 3 months. Didn't buy any supplements. I don't have a personal coach. Just have a rucksack. So this is my personal plan for losing 50 pounds in 3 months. And I say it's my plan because I'm not advocating that you do it. As I've said many times, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a biologist, I'm just a fat guy. But I am a fat guy who graduated from an advanced level dad bod, like Homer Simpson or Hank Hill, to more of an intermediate level dad bod. I'm at intermediate level. Dad bods are something you don't want to become an expert with your dad bod. You want to go the other way. And so just to say, you guys, just to encourage you guys, if you're that 400-pound hacker that Donald Trump said was messing with Hillary during the election, the recent election in America, I have no comment on your hacking, but you can do something about your body. You can. Everybody that's watching this can do something. You can make positive changes. And I've made little changes a little bit at a time, and I just keep kind of stretching myself, and it's really working. And so I appreciate you guys watching. And I appreciate all of those of you who followed me from the beginning, and your comments. I've just appreciated the community that I found here on YouTube. Just a great bunch of people here on YouTube that are interested in health and interested in and curious, I guess. So to those of you who watched through this, I appreciate you. And I appreciate your liking this video. Comment on this video, ask me questions, subscribe to this channel, and share this with someone else who may benefit from it. And eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we fast.